Hello, everyone. This is Casey here, your HR consultant. I just wanted to go ahead and take the time to review and provide a little advisory guidance on how I would recommend moving forward with the presidential action return to in-person work that was signed January 20th of 2025. Okay, and this is the actual website here. We have the whitehouse.gov. So the executive order says heads of all departments and agencies in the executive branch of government shall, as soon as practicable, take all necessary steps to terminate remote work arrangements and require employees to return to work in person at their respective duty stations on a full-time basis, provided that the department and agencies heads shall make exemptions they deem necessary. This memorandum should be implemented consistent with applicable law. So I want to start with the first sentence. It says, as soon as practicable. So let's read that again. Heads of all department and agencies in the executive branch of government shall, as soon as practicable. So you got to think about what is practical. Is it if you have someone who's remote and they are working in a different state, it's not practical to tell them that they need to return to work and within the next, month. Is that practical? Now, if we continue reading, it says require employees to return to work in person at their respective duty stations on a full-time basis. So if you look at the position description will have the duty station, and the duty station for a remote job is where the person resides. So if that's where their duty station is, I do believe that, in my opinion, that they are fine where they are based on their duty station. It doesn't say effective immediately. It says as soon as practical. So perhaps waiting for that person to find a new job, or when that position becomes vacant, you can then make that job no longer remote, if that is at all possible. That's something that the agency would like to consider and look into. That's what I would recommend, considering that as far as workforce shaping and how classification works. And we'll go into that even further later. Okay, so now let's look at the definition of practicable. So this is the Cornell Law School. It's a legal information institution. And it says practicable means feasible or capable of being done. The term is commonly used in statutes to indicate when, how, or if something should be done. So should someone who is living they have their full-time residence and they're in Florida. This is where their kids are enrolled in, and their office building is actually located in DC. Well, it's not practical for them to return to work to Washington, D.C. if their whole lifestyle is in Florida and it's not impacting or having an adverse effect on the work getting done, and it's not causing any of a financial burden on the agency. So you need to highly consider this word practicable. So, I feel like in this executive order, yes, he signed the executive order, but he's also giving the department agency wiggle room to make the final alternative decision. Also, people who are in supervisory billets have also the right to speak on behalf of their employees. That is why you were hired as a supervisor. You're hired as a supervisor to make sure there's integrity, and you need to advocate for your employees. That is called being a good leader. Don't be afraid to be a good leader. You're not going against the grain of things, but you're doing what is right within the law and within your area of responsibilities and authority. Now, if we go down to the next paragraph towards the end, it's not paragraph, but sentence is the second line, the third line to the end. It says, provided that the department agency heads shall make exemptions they deem necessary. So that really gives the department full wiggle room to make a decision if they want that person's position to no longer be remote if they deem necessary for them to return in person. And there's actually an alternative for that, in which we'll go into later. So it says this memorandum shall be implemented consistent with the applicable law. So let's go into that. Let's first look at what remote is and how it's defined. Okay, right here, this definition for remote work is found on the opm.gov website. And it says that remote work is defined as a flexible work arrangement in which an employee under a written remote work agreement is scheduled to perform work at an alternative work site and is not expected to perform work at an agency work site on a regular and recurring basis. A remote worker's official work site may be within or outside the local commuting area of an agency's work site. So just to let you know, remote work is different from telework. Complete difference. Because if you are remote work, then your locality pay is based on the area that you're working. So let's say if you're working in Tennessee or Florida, your locality rate is going to be different from California or Long Island, New York. So let's go ahead and look at the guidance for how would it work to remove someone from remote. Okay, this is called a position description OF8 form, which is found on the OPM website. And I'm just going to scroll down here so you can see the form ID numbered. So we're always being very factual when presenting information on here. So right here you see where it says OF8 form, and on the OF8 form you can see all the blocks right here that we have. You will also see the definition for each block all the way at the bottom. So let's keep scrolling down. Okay, so we have block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, and let me just scroll down a little bit more. Give me a second. And block 5. You see where it says block 5? Enter geographical location if different from that of number 4. So if we scroll all the way up here, it says in the guidance, it says, in the executive order, it says duty station. So it says employing, if you look at the position description, OF8, block 4 says employing office location. So if, let's say for instance, you're working at DHS and your position is in Arlington, then the employing office location would be Arlington. If we go over here and look at number 5, it says duty station. Well, the duty station is where the employee will be working. It's also based on, that information is also based on locality. So their duty station is wherever their remote job is located. And okay, this form is called the standard form, which we call it as SF50, and this is found on the opm.gov website. It's a notification of personnel action. And this form, if we scroll down, let's look at the date of it and make sure it's current. So we have not usable after 6/30 in 1993. So this form is still current. It's on the OPM website. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you where this is filled out when a person they come on board. It has all their personal action on here, their name, their social security number, their position, title, and number, their grade level, their salary. So if we scroll all the way down here, will have duty station code. So if you have duty station code, the duty station code is based on the duty station number 5. So if they're working at Fort Bragg or anything like that, the duty station code is where their duty station is assigned. So if we go back to the executive order says return to work in person at their respective duty station. So it doesn't say employing office location. It says duty station. So therefore, in my opinion, I think that the agency is fine and the employee is fine because they're making a reasonable, a practical decision, and the head of the agency shall make exemptions these deem necessary. So, again, I think that people have to take the time to stop. They need to think and assess and review all the applicable laws before making any decisions. Sometimes it's careful to be not reactive to things, but take time to do your research before you impact your employees without knowing all your facts. Thank you again for taking the time to listen to my video going over the return to in-person work. My goal today was just to give you HR consulting due to my background and experience. I hope that you received that today and everything was explained to you carefully and fairly, clearly, and concise. So if you would like to learn more as I develop more videos, please feel free to subscribe and don't forget to like. Thank you again. It's a pleasure speaking with everyone. Have a nice day.